So Talking Points does believe in destiny. That is, some things in the universe will happen because they are meant to happen. Barack Obama? Come on. I mean, you don't know anything about the man. He was a U.S. Senator for 2 years. And you know, when you're a freshman senator, you do what the Democratic Party tells you to do. You don't do anything else. That's what you do.
There's an argument.
One thing I know is that if I leave the field, I can't win.
Okay.
That's what I know.
Well, that's an interesting thing. Sure. Anything can happen at any time. And if you're there and haven't withdrew, then you're still a player. Whereas a guy like John Edwards and a guy like Rudy Giuliani who withdrew.
Some other networks. He and his surrogates have suggested that
I don't know if I would believe those people. Governor, with all due respect to you, you're a much smarter guy than I am. Don't believe the press unless you hear it here, okay? Unless you hear it from me, don't believe them, because these people all have agendas all day long.
Well, let's look at it another way. Here's another way. The fact that they specifically locked the cameras on 2 candidates, showing that the media can very much influence the perception. And that's
but everybody
really
knows that, Governor. I mean, McCain has gotten much more favorable media coverage than you or Romney has. Everybody knows that. Sure. But believe me, if McCain is the Republican nominee, the same media that's giving him good coverage now are going to turn and try to cut his throat, because the media in America wants to elect a Democratic president. 80% of them are actively working to do that. You're absolutely right. That is a perversion of our Constitution. It should not be happening, but it absolutely is happening. Governor, you're nice enough to come on Super Tuesday Eve. We appreciate it.
Well, the reason I want to do your show, I feel like I'm going to get a fair shake, and that's the reason that I like going on Bill O'Reilly. You're going to let the people make the decision. You haven't picked a candidate and gone out there and tried to promote one over another. I think people listen to you because you let your guest actually present his own case. People are looking for leadership, people who have the experience. And Bill, I think when they look at all the factors, they need somebody who has the vision, the stamina, the background to say, I know how to make decisions and to make them work.
Yeah, like he cares. I'd like to get a hold of him. With us now, the host of On the Record, Greta Van Susteren, who perhaps knows more about the story than anyone in the country. I'd love to get my hands on that guy. I'll tell you what, well, I'd go to jail. I'd take the lawsuit just to give him a...
I think you need to stand in line. Her parents probably are way ahead of you in line.
Yeah. Just the terms he used to describe this young girl on the tape, and the blasé attitude, like, you know, we just threw her, she'll never be seen again. He's a sociopath and probably a psychopath.
What? Wasn't sure if she was dead and threw her over.
What?
Wasn't sure if she was dead and threw her over.
Yeah, and doesn't care, and calls her the names that he called her. A sociopath, for sure, a psychopath, probably. All right, now, you have this tape. And forcing gay education on the kids. Megan and Lise in a moment from the jump. All right? I think it's Newton, Massachusetts public school. They want the 5, 6, and 7-year-olds to read gay fairy tales, right? The 2 princes and this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
A couple of parents said, hey, look, knock it off. They're too little. We don't want them reading this stuff. Goes against our religion, everything we stand for, and it's inappropriate. But the Massachusetts, and only in Massachusetts, well, maybe in Berkeley and San Francisco, could this happen? They said, no, if we want to have your 5-year-old read about 2 princes, then we're damn well going to do it, correct?
Mostly correct. I mean, it was 2 couples in Lexington that said, look, you know, we don't want our kids, a kindergartner and a 1st grader. Now, they were reading very different things. The kindergartner was reading just about what families are, and it happened to include homosexual parents. The 1st grader was reading The Prince and I, or The King and I, and that had The King and King. That had more to do, it was really a promotion of homosexuality. I have a problem with that one. But the first one, the Massachusetts court was bound by precedent in that state, and also bound by the Constitution in that state, which says that public schools cannot discriminate based on sexual orientation.
All right, so you have to, when you're 5, you have to know about alternative lifestyles.
It's not forced down your throat, though, either, because this was optional reading. The child did not have to read it.
But not the 2 princes.
Not the 2 princes.
They had to read that in the 1st grade.
That one I have a problem
with. What do you
say?
I could not disagree with her more. You know what else the Massachusetts law requires? It requires that parents be given the opportunity to pull their child out of the classroom if if they are going to discuss human sexuality with the child. That's what Massachusetts law requires to the letter. That was not done. All these parents wanted, they didn't want to shut this program down
then
for
why
all
did the
public
judge boot
schools.
this then?
Well, but let me make my point. They didn't want to shut it down for everyone. They just wanted notice when it was going to be taught to their child so they could privately remove their child.
Right.
That was too much for the Massachusetts court. That's what happened. Because the court said there's no fundamental right to you, parents, to be able to do that.
But the ACLU has been saying that for years, that the parent doesn't have a right in the public school system to dictate anything.
Well, here's what the court found. The court said if your child were being indoctrinated with some sort of religious belief or gay belief, then that'd be one thing. But we don't think making them read that book is indoctrination.
But that's a political ruling.
I agree with you 100%. That's why I think the court got it wrong, and I think it overlooks the enormous influence a teacher has on a 5-year-old child.
We'll have the last word.
Not in the case of the kindergarten. The kindergarten was just reading about alternate.
We got that, Wheel.
Lifestyle.
Now you're being
That's
redundant.
it.
Address her concern.
But that's exactly it. He could have been removed. This little Jacob did not have to read this book that did not promote homosexuality. It just said these are these alternate lifestyles out there.
Address the two princes.
And the two princes, I do have a problem with. And the court even said they had a problem with it, but they were bound by Massachusetts
law. But they're not, according to Kelly.
No, because I read the cases that they said they were bound by, and I agree with the court. The precedent is there.
So now I got to go and sort this out. No. You say one thing, she says another, and I got to.
The bottom line was the court said it's not indoctrination. That's how the court felt. And the court didn't have a problem with King and King. The court did not have a problem with it. The court loved King and King. Both courts love these two books because they say gay marriage is legal in Massachusetts and fine if you want to teach it to the children.
The court said it was a lot closer on King and King.
They're pinheads. You know they are.
But that's
ladies, thanks very much. We appreciate. I thought it was fine. I'm a simple man, though. All right, Lori, you picked Career Builder. Roll the tape.